So what's good, you guys? Will here from PSYCHONAUT Visions, signing back in once again, coming at you with another video today. Now, as the summer months come to a close, with it is the dawn of fall. The winter months, they come around and it starts getting colder. You start having to layer up more. The days get shorter, and it can be a difficult time for some people. But just like the summer, and just like how I was talking about in my last video, how Alex was talking about in one of his most recent videos, every season brings some sort of significance, some sort of meaning, and you got to find some sort of reason to fall in love with the season. And for the summer, it's like, getting out there, going on vacation, allowing yourself to feel free for a moment, for a period of time. But as the months get the winter months approach, as the colder months approach, and the days get shorter, there comes a lot of internalizing. You have to look from within. Sometimes you're going to be forced to face a problem that could be on the horizon, could have been with you for a long time, and you've been ignorant of it, you've been ignoring it. There's a whole lot of possibilities, but in my opinion, it's about facing the darkness, and that's sort of what I love about the winters, because I kind of like that challenge, that feeling of adversity. But with that being said, there's been something that I haven't necessarily hid from anyone on this channel, really, or from my friends. But with that being said, I've only told bits and pieces of it. And it's not my sexuality, it's my porn addiction. Something that I feel like, well, obviously it can be taboo, it can be seen as taboo to a lot of people, difficult to talk about. But it's also something I don't think people take serious enough. It's completely destroyed my view of sex, completely destroyed my view of intimacy, or lack thereof, and it's subconsciously altered my view on people, the way I see people, the way I approach people. Now, I don't want to, obviously I'm not going to go into detail, but when I first started watching, it was like, I would say towards the end of my junior year, approaching my senior year, but I really started watching during my senior year, and it was just, normal, straight, just typical porn that, most guys would watch, right? But over time, for some reason, the satisfaction I got from that dissipated a little bit, to the point where, the thought of gay porn started intriguing me. And that's not easy to say, but it's the truth, right? And that's something I haven't opened up about to a whole lot of people, really. And as tough as this is to say as well, there came a point in time where that wasn't enough. And when that happened, well, what else did I have? Transgender porn, transgender, transsexual. That's what got me going. That's what kept the libido flowing, right? And over time, porn became my only version of sex, my only vision of sex. And when I think of intimacy, when my mind envisions intimacy, and this is the case to this day, I simply know not, right? And that's why it's so difficult for me, and I'm so hesitant to get into a relationship, because I'm unaware of my own intentions. Do I want friends? Do I want a relationship? Do I want friends with benefits? What do I want? I don't know. But not only has porn caused that, it's also caused a shift in my libido to the point where it's very low. I experience erectile dysfunction to the point where, and sexual dysfunction, I can't envision intimacy. Like I said, it's so difficult for my mind to do that. And it feels like at this point I view people almost like objects. I wish that weren't the case, but it's like I'm in a battle of lust versus love, and lust is winning, and I can't seem to figure out how to overcome that. But I was watching a video of Terry Crews earlier, who talks about a lot about his porn addiction and how it affected him in his life, and how he was dealing with that, and his wife was about to divorce him. His life was on the edge. He was in a bad place, a dark place. But what he did was speak out. What he did was get help. And that's ultimately how he overcame it. For the longest time, I've been like, how am I going to overcome this, right? And what I try to do is go on these nofap streaks, and I'm like, man, this is what's going to help, right? This is what's going to do it. And like a constant cycle, I go right back, because porn is the only thing I know when it comes to sex. I find myself in that cycle repeating time and time again. And there's not a whole lot of people out there I've talked to who have dealt with it. And people go through it. I'm not going to sit up here and say, like, I'm the only one, of course. But with that being said, I feel so alone because it's so difficult to talk about. Not a lot of people understand it. And it makes me self-conscious. And I understand this is a good way for me to talk about it. This is a good way for me to vent. For the few people who might be listening, I thank you. But it has caused me a lot of underlying issues in my waking life. A lot more than I even realize. It's scary. It's very scary, and it's something, like I said, people just don't take seriously enough, in my opinion. You don't really hear about porn addiction that often, and rightfully so, because it's difficult to open up about. And there are more people going through it than you think. And that's the thing. For the longest time, I thought, oh, it's my sexuality that's the problem. That's something I've got to open up about. No, it's this. It's this, man. Right? Like I said, I want to be in a relationship. I envision myself with a woman, primarily. But I don't know what I want, and it's just, it's something I have to face. I have to, I can't just let myself keep going further and further, because the more I hold it in, the stronger this demon will grow. And I think as I approach these months of, being more introspective and looking from within and having to face the darkness, I think I really have to find a way to be honest about this. And I do discuss this in art and what I've been writing, in the book I've been writing, but I feel like that also has been something holding me back, because I've been hesitant to let that out. Also, I still have ways to go, just revising it, but even then, man, it's something I can't hide. It's so difficult to talk about, and some people might be turned off by hearing me talk about it, which is another reason why it's difficult, because I don't know how to bring it up in a conversation. I'm not just going to talk to someone and say, hey, man, I've been dealing with a porn addiction and this and that and this and that. Here I am doing it on YouTube, but some people might be a little frightened by what I'm saying still. The difficulty about it is that although there are a lot of people going through it, a lot more than one might assume, and maybe people in your life that are going through it, it's not like it's just going to be an easy topic for them to bring up, to discuss, Like, I find myself just going back to porn and getting that release and feeling like it's what I need, and I don't know, man, it's crazy, because for people who have been following this channel for quite some time, you may notice I did a nofap journey last year, over 200 days. Now, I do recall at a point, my libido was rising again. I felt more energized, and I didn't feel a craving to instantly watch porn when I thought of sex. But at the same time, when I did, relapse, when that streak did come to an end, it was through porn. And before you knew it, I was right back where I was, at ground zero, just finding a way out. And here I am now, man, and it's like, I don't know how to get over it. I really don't. That's what scares me the most. Will I ever get over it? Will I? Will lust win this war? Is that inevitable? Can love find a way to bounce back? Will I be able to ever get into a relationship and have sex, be confident in having sex? Because even though, of course, sex isn't everything to a relationship, if I were to, then that would eventually come about, right? And if I were in a position where I didn't know how to have sex, if I didn't know how to be intimate at all, I wouldn't know where to begin. And if I were to then open up, what would happen, right? And this reminds me of a couple times I was talking to girls, and the I would say probably the second semester or the second year in college, like my fourth semester, the semester before COVID, and it started picking up a little bit, right, to the point where we were hanging out, and they showed a little bit of interest. I matched with a girl on Tinder and talked to her for a while, and then it came to the point where I had to say something because I didn't want to just lead her on, keep leading her on. And I felt bad because then, they get mad at you. They're like, man, we should have told me to begin with. And it hits your confidence, and it makes me hesitant to want to get myself out there now. I feel so stuck in my own mind. I feel so alone. I feel so alone. But that's the part about it. Picking myself up. Finding something out of nothing, which obviously can be difficult. But just like how I did in my existential crisis, find a meaning. Find a reason and find a way to not only resist those cravings, man, but try and alter my, view on people, my view on intimacy altogether, and talk about it. I'm trying to open up this year and the next year as well, and it's difficult, man, because some of what I'm going through is not easy to talk about. Let me tell you, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my closest friends, my closest family members. It's not that easy. It's just not. But here I am talking about it right now, and it feels like I'm letting something out. And I hope that whoever is listening takes something from it. And the ultimate message is whoever's watching this is probably going through something completely different, but at the same time, my message is the same to you. Whatever you're facing, whatever problems and waking issues you might be facing in your life, this fall and winter, I encourage you to face them head on. Right? Another thing for me is learning how to cook. Another thing for me is learning how to lead, be confident in driving far distances and finding direction. Not necessarily in life, but finding direction, driving, being able to navigate certain ways. And that's been my struggle as well. I've had driving anxiety. I've always had that. I don't know why, but I've always had that. There's just certain things to me that seem so foreign, yet other people seemingly do them like it's second nature. I feel sometimes like an alien in a way. I feel like I'm not from here. Like I don't belong, or I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, life is strange. Life has been weird for me, but I have to face these things. I have to be honest if I want to get over them. It starts here. It starts somewhere, right? It's not like the world is ending. I think the one thing about me is I often find something, like I said, something in nothing. I find a spark, a reason when I'm pushed to the brink. That's when I feel the most motivated. When I'm facing adversity, more adversity than I'm used to, that's when I'm the most motivated. That's when I'm the most driven. That's when I am able to get up and go do whatever it is that I need to do. And I feel like I needed to talk about this. Anyone listening, thank you very much. Please, feel free to leave a comment. This is a channel that I'm and Alex are both willing to listen to anything you have to say. It may be called Psychonaut Visions. A lot of our videos may be about psychedelics, but this is about life. This is about experience. In my opinion, spirituality is a part of life. You know, or life is spiritual. This is a spiritual experience. And that's kind of what I meant to say. I worded that a little bit wrong. But yeah, just let me know. Seriously, let Alex and I know in the comments. This is a place to feel free and be open to anything you're going through. You know, because we won't judge you. You know, this is life, and sometimes you have to confront your darkest demons. Become friends with the enemy. And that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Seriously, feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe. I love you guys. I love you. Mo from PSYCHONAUT Visions, signing out.